Hey everybody, it's time for another review and rant intro, and this is my rant. This is my rant on various haters, and fanboys of various franchises. Either fanboys of franchises I don't like, fanboys, not only fanboys, defenders defend franchises that can't be defended and that suck and that deserve to fail. Franchises like the Amazing Spider-Man, which you'll see more rants on people who support and defend, still support and defend those Amazing Spider-Man films. Then also rant on haters of franchises I enjoy, like Dragon Ball Evolution, Marvel, DC Extended Universe, Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, and many more franchises, and many more, Naruto, and many more. Then you got fanboys of crappy franchises like Dragon Ball Z, Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles, Amazing Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles that I can't stand, and you will see rants on the defenders of the supporters of those franchise I can't stand. So this is the intro portion. This is for the intro portion for my Super Vader 400 channel. There will be a short narration. There will be a short audio narration on my quote unquote Doggy 798 channel leading you to this video. But if you're already on the Super Vader 400 channel, there'll be a link leading you to that video. I got sick of doing long narration rants. So most of them will be off camera. Most of the rants on the Super Vader 400 channel will be off camera webcam rants, like you just saw, like you're gonna see in part 2, like you've been seeing more recently now. So you don't wanna. So with that being said, it's time to show you fanboys and annoying haters what I'm made of.
Let me show you who I am, what I'm here for. Here for. Hey, try to reach inside of me, try to get my everything. Let me show you. You can. Simple curiosity, try to take your mind. Let me show you just what I'm made of now.
Hey everybody, alright, it's time for the second part of my rant on Dragon Ball Z fanboys, defenders, and another rant on the entire franchise itself. Another rant on the entire franchise itself. Yes, when it comes to Dragon Ball, the entire series. That's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, now Super, and Resurrection F. Yeah, that's your brand new Dragon Ball franchise. I consider to be one of the worst cartoons ever in the worst anime of all time. Now, everything I'm about to nitpick the entire Dragon Ball. Oh, before I get to that, yeah, everything I'm about to nitpick the entire Dragon Ball series for, I would forgive if it wasn't for Majin Buu saga, which started it all. That was the first one. That was terrible. Then you had Super, which was surprisingly even worse. Didn't think it was ever possible to be the top Majin Buu in shittiness. Then you have Resurrection F, the worst of all time. Not only the worst Dragon Ball series, not only the worst Dragon Ball series, the worst anime, one of the worst movies. I wish I could say it was the worst movie, but there are worser movies than Resurrection F. And the worst, the number one, and I don't think it'll ever be top, the number one worst comic book superhero film of all time was Resurrection F. It makes the Amazing Spider-Man and Venom movies, which are also equally bad, it makes those seem like Oscar-worthy material. And I don't care how much money they took at the box office, or surprisingly, what their score on the Rotten Tomato meter was. I go by quality first. Quality over quantity. Box office money and critical reception, those are important. But number one is quality. Is what I'm watching good or bad? And that was the worst. That was the worst comic book film of all time. That was the worst comic book film of all time. I would forgive everything if it wasn't for that, the booing of quote unquote Super. These were so bad, they got me and a bunch of people off the GT hate wagon. They make GT look like Oscar-worthy material. Dragon Ball GT, apart from some scenes and a couple of inconsistencies and reckonings and plot holes here and there, feels like a legitimate continuation, a better and legitimate continuation of Dragon Ball than Super and Resurrection F, which are supposed to be what happened in between the time skip of Kid Buu's defeat and Goku meeting and fighting Oob in the quote unquote tournament. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, Dragon Ball is the worst of all time. And people try to say, oh yeah, you fanboys say, oh well, Douglas, you hate the franchise because of three terrible sagas. What terrible sagas? That's like saying, oh, Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, One Punch Man, My Heroes Academia, and many more. Those are my top animes and mangas. Oh, they're terrible because they had weak sagas too. They had weak and terrible sagas too, and terrible writing. Firstly, no they don't. They may have a couple of problems here and there, but they do not have the inconsistencies, the problems, and the lazy, atrocious writing Dragon Ball Z had. Number two, those series, they've had weaker sagas and episodes, but never, I would say, a bad or worse saga. And they never had a saga that was so bad that killed and ruined the entire series. The Majin Buu saga ruined everything that was accomplished in the previous one. The Cell, and everything before Cell. I now hate most of the Cell saga just because of how bad Buu was, which I'm going to get to later. Yeah, you're trying, for all you people who keep trying to bring up the terrible stuff in Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, One Punch Man, My Heroes Academia, and many more. You're doing that because you can't defend Dragon Ball Z. You know and you understand that Dragon Ball Z sucks and is only good for nostalgia and several other things. And several other things like action, which gets old after seeing the same thing over and over again, cobbled together with terrible storylines. Extremely powerful characters, more and extremely powerful characters, which made the non-Saiyan characters useless and nothing but dead weight to the main heroes. And if the Saiyans, especially Goku and Vegeta, aren't your favorites, you're screwed. Then the coolest Saiyan, Gohan, got screwed on later. Got screwed later. So yeah, you don't have that. So yeah, that's that. Then you got three. Three Ocean Japanese dub. That's voice acting, music, soundtrack, and sound effects. That atrocious script, no matter which dub and version you're watching, is always the same. The script is always, for the most part, the same. You can't change that. No amount of redubbing is going to change that. That's also for you manga people too. Manga only improves pacing and got rid of the filler plot holes, not the canon ones within the sagas. You're trying to find flaws in good franchises to justify a bad one, which is Dragon Ball Z. So that's what you keep doing, and you need to stop it, because we both know it isn't true. Yeah, Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, One Punch Man, and My Hero's Academia, and many more. I've never had a saga. I've never had a story arc that was as bad. That was as lazy as Majin Buu and the rest that came after, which almost makes Majin Buu seem good in comparison. The only thing Buu has over it is the fusion characters, and at least people in the Buu saga were still somewhat in character. At times, it was still a continuation to sell. Unlike the others, which feels like you're watching a completely different series. So that was that. I mean, everything I'm about to rip Dragon Ball for, I would forgive if it wasn't for those three sagas. So With that being said, let's get to the Dragon Ball series themselves. It's time to grade them. You got Dragon Ball. This is actually surprisingly the best one. I've in the past voiced my displeasure and hatred of Dragon Ball. Believe it or not, I hate Dragon Ball for stuff that actually took place in Z. I mean, there are a bunch of things I don't like about Dragon Ball, but I mostly hate and despise Dragon Ball for stuff that took place in Z. Mainly Majin Buu. Z, and not only Z, Super now, which is even worse than Z. Super. Dragon Ball Z and Super contradict anything that was ever good in Dragon Ball, and make Dragon Ball useless, lame, and just ultimately, quote unquote, irrelevant. Contradicts everything in Dragon Ball, which I'm about to get to in a minute. Then you have Z. Now I prefer watching Z and even sometimes crappy Super. I prefer watching Z because even though Z is even worse than Dragon Ball, a lot of my favorite and best characters in the franchise show up here in Z and the following series that came after Z. So that's why I prefer watching Z more, even though Dragon Ball is vastly superior. Then you had Super, the worst of all time, other than four new characters, the action and the animation style in the actual Super Sagas, not the movie repeats, but the actual Super Saga is actually good. For the first time, Dragon Ball had good animation. I don't really like the art style that much, but the animation was pretty good. The other things, that's not enough to save it. The sad part about Super is Super will be not only the greatest Dragon Ball series, it would be the greatest anime ever if it wasn't a sequel to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. If it was just a side project or another alternate universe, multiverse BS like GT and the movies are with a different writer given permission by Toriyama. It had been that, it'd be the best franchise ever. But because it's a sequel, it's the worst. It's the worst of all time. Dragon Ball is the best is because these are when the characters were earthly. And characters like Tien and Yamcha were still somewhat useful and relevant were useful and relevant then. Even Roshi, who sucks, was useful in parts of the sagas. That's why Dragon Ball is the best. It doesn't have it has inconsistencies, but doesn't have the amount that Super have. However, Dragon Ball Z completely ruins and contradicts this series. In Dragon Ball Z and the Saiyan and Namek saga, we later learn that Goku was an alien sent to Earth to destroy it when he came of age. If that and that he turned stronger after every battle in the Namek saga. If that was the case, no one in Dragon Ball, that was Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, Roshi, and Piccolo, and in the first villain of Z, Raditz, none of those characters should have been a threat to you, especially Tien and Roshi, who those two actually beat you. And Old Man King Piccolo beat you. If Goku was this superpower alien, he should have ran roughshod over everyone in Dragon Ball, and everything should have been over in basically almost 26 or less, 26, almost about 26 episodes. The entire franchise should have been over in about 26 episodes. It should have been like Dragon Ball Evolution. In Dragon Ball Evolution, everything they did in Dragon Ball Evolution, it only took 85 minutes. It only took 85 minutes to do everything. In Dragon Ball Evolution, they found the 7 Dragon Balls before the blood moon re-eclipses the sun. Goku conquered Ozaru, mastered ki manipulation, and the Kamehameha wave. Chi-Chi won the Toy-San tournament, beat by twice. Roshi conjured Mafuba, and they saved the world and revived Roshi, all in under 85 minutes. Whereas in Dragon Ball, it took 153 episodes to do anything and everything in quote unquote Dragon Ball, and even more. And when we get to Dragon Ball Z, this goes to show you that the whole Saiyan bullshit, that wasn't even the plot yet. They had to reckon and add that stuff to stay in the game, because their journey to the West, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee-esque adventure, Dragon Ball comedy adventure series, that quote unquote wasn't selling. They needed to become bigger, stronger, edgier, and more action oriented, which every cartoon and franchise at the time was doing, and Dragon Ball was late. Dragon Ball and Toriyama was late to the party and late to the dance. But here are other reasons why Dragon Ball on its own sucks. Already in the first saga, the Pilaf saga, Bulma, one of the franchise's worst and most overrated characters, Bulma. This is one of the worst characters of all time. Nothing but an arrogant, rude, violent, spoiled, ditzy girl, fake scientist, overpowered pussy, Marisu. Yes, she is the biggest Marisu, because she in the show's biggest pussy. She is the Sakura. She and Chi-Chi are the Sakuras of Dragon Ball. Now Bulma is considered better than Chi-Chi because Bulma's only feat was that she took over Capsule Corp. That's her only feat. That's her only real accomplishment and feat. All the other accomplishments are straight up bullshit, are straight up fakery and bullshit. Let's start with our first one. Bulma, an ordinary human, was off screen able to develop a radar capable of tracking Dragon Ball energy, sensing magic. Let me tell you everything off screen. Let me show us how she was able to do that. Let me show you how this is bullshit. Number one, Bulma is not in any form of a mutant, alien, or supernatural being, and she would come into contact with any of those three beings until several sagas and seasons and series after this, after her introduction. Yet off screen, she's able to make a radar that can track Dragon Ball energy better than everyone, even in militaries and highly advanced alien civilizations. So she's able to do all that. She's able to do all that. Science and magic are the same thing, except for one problem. Science is real, magic is not. Magic is not. Magic is not. So Bulma should not only not be able to create a radar, but first off she shouldn't even know or believe what Dragon Balls are. She shouldn't even know or believe in Dragon Balls are. Only people like Goku, the Shaolin, hermits, and mystics. People who live in temples or poor, just don't have lives, are people who should know and believe in the existence of balls. Then if Bulma was to find out about the Dragon Balls, she damn sure should not have a tracking device to go out and quote unquote look for them. So already that was 3 plot holes. Right there. Her next feat. This was in Dragon Ball Z. I was going to save it for Dragon Ball Z, but let's mention it here. Then she was able to develop a device capable of shutting down the androids, even though she never encountered the androids or worked on their tech. And the only android she actually saw was Dr. Gero, and she didn't fight him. She just got her ship blown up by him. She just saw him. She didn't work on his tech or fight him or anything. So how does she know how the android technology works to make a device capable of shutting them down? Then she saw the weaker model of Dr. Gero, which is a weaker absorption model, as stated by 18. You didn't see the much superior 16, 17, and 18 models. So, you should not have a quote-unquote device capable of shutting down. If you want to see what she worked on Android 16, that was after the Imperfect Cell battle, the Imperfect Cell saga and battle. And prelude to the Cell games. She made the controller in the Imperfect Cell base saga after seeing only Dr. Gero in the Android base saga. So as you can see, that's plot hole. That's another plot hole. Another reason, like I said, she's useless. They invent little plot devices that make it seem like she's useful. She is the Sakura of Dragon Ball, but at least Sakura grew out of it. With Sakura, her personality, it was a character flaw. It was something she would overcome and eventually grow out of. Bulma never changed. Bulma never changed or really grew up or anything. So, they put her in a lame-ass, bitch-ass relationship with Vegeta to keep her important. But, she's one of the biggest reasons this saga sucks. Let's get to Roshi. Like I said, after seeing how badass Chow Yun-Fat was as Roshi in Dragon Ball Evolution, it's hard to go back to this lame, overpower, perverted, pussy, Marisu, weakling, useless weakling of a man. Roshi was useful up until the King Piccolo saga. After the King Piccolo saga, he retired. He retired from fighting, admitted he stopped training, and everyone surpassed him. All of a sudden, several years later in Super, they had the audacity to sit up there and say Roshi was secretly training. He was secretly training. Oh, so his regular island training is comparable to the Kami, Popo, King Kai training, or the intense spaceship gravity training, or my favorite, the hyperbolic time chamber, and become the second strongest human, completely shitting on Tien and Yamcha. He would end the fight against Frieza's forces. He was considered more useful, but Yamcha and Chaozu were considered too useless to quote-unquote be there. Did the people forget that Roshi has a power level 139, weaker than a Frieza soldier? And that he was actually weaker than Yamcha and Chaozu by that point? Then in the saga, when he was useless, the King Piccolo saga, just like Dragon Ball Evolution, the first thing he did was smart. Assemble a Dragon Ball team to find the Dragon Balls and banish Piccolo from that world. Smart. That was smart. Here's what was not smart. Here's what was not smart. Here's what was not smart. Showing Piccolo your Dragon Balls and luring him to your location. Dragon Ball Evolution got this right. You keep your ball, you do everything in your power to keep your balls away from Piccolo. As long as the bad guy doesn't get all 7 balls, he can't have his wish either, and he can't win. He can't quote unquote win. Roshi did that, then botched the Mafuba, because he showed Piccolo his, Roshi dies as Piccolo gets all 7 balls, wishes for his youth, then kills Shinron. Thus, had it not been for Goku, had it not been for Tien and later Goku, Piccolo would have won the day. Piccolo would have won. His reign of terror would have continued, all because of Roshi's stupidity. Then the other things about Roshi, the pervertedness. After seeing how realistic DBE made it, they made Roshi less of a pervert in that movie. They made Goku and Yamcha more perverted, and that's not in the original. But like I said, when I was defending it in Dragon Ball Evolution, it was realistic. It was realistic. You cannot be. They try to convince us that Master Roshi is a wise and honorable martial arts master, and something of a monk, who is not only a pervert but a proud super pervert. He shows no shame. A pervert with no shame. That does not exist. You cannot be an honorable martial artist and a Shaolin monk and be a pervert and be a proud pervert with no shame. With quote unquote no shame. He shows no shame for his actions. He shows no shame for his actions. And then all the stuff he be doing, like, dude, all the perverse stuff, like, dude, get a life. Dude, get a life. The worst, like I said, one of the worst characters ever in Dragon Ball. Bulma is still worse because of her fake accomplishments, and Chi-Chi, for her, even more useless. Then we got, bitch-ass Chi-Chi. Now, I consider Chi-Chi to be better than Bulma because there was times where she was at least brave. And she actually can fight. But after seeing how badass Jimmy Chunks Chi-Chi was in Dragon Ball Evolution, we're going to go back to this lame, useless, weak, violent bitch for really no good reason, no quote unquote good reason. Let's look at let's look at Dragon Ball Evolution's Chi-Chi. Dragon Ball Evolution's Chi-Chi was a rival to Goku, knew more about Ki and Chi related techniques than he did, defeated Mai twice, won the Toy-San tournament, withstood an assault from Goku, and was briefly able to fend him off, and did all those things. Let's go back to anime Chi-Chi. In a filler, she killed a dinosaur in a ridiculous way. Then she fought in the tournament. She fought in the quote-unquote tournament. She beat a couple of no-names in the quarterfinals, but got washed by Goku in the preliminaries. They got washed by Goku in the quarterfinals. Finals with Goku just blowing her out of the ring with some wind farts. Didn't even lay a finger on her. And after she busted out a cool combo, which had Goku dodging for his life, only to lose to a couple of wind farts. Man, come on. Some wind fart shockwave move. So come on, man. Then you got Roshi. Then you got Chi-Chi. Then you got Ben after that retired from fighting and became useless throughout Dragon Ball Z and quote unquote Super. Her final feat, slapping Majin Buu in the face. Chi-Chi and Bulma set women back several years. Chi-Chi was nothing but a common housewife, always in the kitchen, cooking, cleaning, being useless and not really doing anything, still living with her dad and pretty much mooching off of his money. So as you can see, Chi-Chi, the worst character ever, and also the Sakura of what's going on. Then her slapping Majin Buu. Yeah, everyone says, this is the moment we're supposed to respect Chi-Chi because she stood up to Majin Buu. Firstly, you stood up to him when you didn't have to. Number one, you stood up to her when you didn't have to. Number two, she tried to attack her with a broom. What's a quote unquote broom gonna do to Majin Buu? Number three, she was the biggest reason I hate Chi-Chi and almost all the Z fighters. All the Z fighters that were on the lookout. Chi-Chi was hiding out on the lookout, taking refuge, eating, playing cards, and chillaxing, while Majin Buu was on Earth, terrorizing and killing everybody. Well, you got Hercule and the people of Earth who have no powers, being brave, being more braver than the Z fighters who had quote-unquote powers. I can understand hiding from Buu because you're no match for him. Hide at your house. Hide at Kame house. Hide at Capsule Corp. Hide, get a submarine and go underwater. Hide in the desert. You know the funny part? If everyone was in their respective spots instead of being on the lookout, Majin Buu, when he learned how to sense power, would not have quote unquote found each of you. So yes, Chi-Chi was not brave. She was only brave when the inedible couldn't be avoided anymore. She was not brave. She was a pussy just like everyone else, man. The worst character in quote unquote Dragon Ball. So yeah. The best saga was the King Piccolo sagas, the King Piccolo and later Junior sagas. Those were the greatest quote unquote sagas, with the King Piccolo being better. Love the Piccolo Junior, but I don't like the setting. A sports martial arts tournament, a sports martial arts tournament. It should have been a Mortal Kombat style of tournament or a random street fight or something like that. After seeing the realistic Toy-San tournament and the tournament being done so much better in other arcs like Naruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, and even video games like Street Fighter, King of Fighters, and Fatal Furies, and many more. Which guy do not like the tournaments in Dragon Ball? Why would, if I'm a human in Dragon Ball, I train my life on the Tenshinhan Budokais, I'm gonna lose because I don't have the Master Roshi training, or I'm not any form of enhanced super being. So I'm gonna lose. The tournament. Why don't the human fighters ever try to get together with Hercule and try to have the Z fighters banned from the tournament and force them to create a separate division where characters like Z fighters can fight each other? That's the issue I have with the Tenshinhan Budokai quote unquote tournaments. Every tournament in Dragon Ball. The only one I liked was the Otherworld one with Pikkon, which is not canon. Another issue I have with Dragon Ball franchise. All of the non-canon stuff is actually on its own is pretty good. When you see, I like the non-canon stuff too. So when you try to, and see, I like it so much, you try to group it together with the canon stuff, and you just can't do that. You got to create more plot holes because this stuff just doesn't fit. It's what it is. It's filler. It's quote unquote filler. But I tried to do that numerous times in quote unquote Dragon Ball. I tried to do that numerous times. But yeah, all the non-canon stuff, that's good. The Otherworld tournament, the Dragon Ball GT sagas, and most of the animated movies with Broly, Legendary Super Saiyan, original being better. The only good saga was Super Broly. And it was only good because Broly was in the movie. If you were to try to make a Dragon Ball Z, if you were made a Dragon Ball, another Beerus, Goku, Beerus, Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, Frieza epic where you try to convince me those characters are more powerful than they really are, especially Frieza, who couldn't even touch Super Saiyan 1, yet off-screen training with a Frieza soldier, he managed to obtain a power source that was higher than Super Saiyan, which he couldn't even touch. Ascended Super Saiyan, Ultra Super Saiyan, Full Power Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and the greatest power, Mystic. Yeah, one good side was only because of Broly, which is not a Toriyama creation. That's another thing. Everything Toriyama creates alone is terrible. Everything he creates with the assistance of someone else or someone else does is way better. Dragon Ball Z is much more exciting without him. even though Toriyama is credited as the creator of Cell, he's not Cell's creators. Toriyama was going to do Android 19 and 20 as the bad guys. These are going to be the old man and an old man and a fat clownish looking man. We're going to end the Z Fighters and kill them all for good. It wasn't until his editor said that's not good, change it. So he added 16 and 18. That's better, but it's a tall robot with a mohawk, a guy with a scarf and a cowboy gun, and a girl with cowboy boots on and a mini skirt. How is that a quote-unquote threat? How is that a threat to the Z Fighters? That was better, but still, how is that a threat to the Z Fighters? Then we get my favorites. Then we get Cell. They got finally asked Toriyama to create Cell, a life form, bio-human, artificial human, capable of taking on and believably beating quote-unquote Z Fighters. And look, Cell made it the best ever. Cell saga sucks, just like Boo now, but Cell and several other characters make that saga tolerable nowadays, and Cell was the saving point of that entire saga. The villain, the main antagonist and villain that show needed. That show needed. So yeah, that was the Saiyan saga. That was the quote unquote. So that was the next reason Dragon Ball Z stuff. Non-canon stuff good. Canon stuff. Non-canon stuff good. Canon stuff is atrocious, man. Best sagas are the King Piccolos, Namek, Imperfect Cell with the Z Fighters, Tien, Vegeta, Trunks, Piccolo before he got taken out earlier, Android 16, and later Krillin, all trying to stop and fail miserably and having Cell achieve his perfect form. That's much better than the crappy Android one where once again you try to convince me these super beings who went through King Kai, Kami and Popo's training, the gravity training on the spaceship, on Goku, on Capsule Corp spaceship, the Namek. And two of them, Goku and Vegeta, who achieved Super Saiyan, Piccolo who fused with Nails, somehow a Namek, somehow regular humans on Earth equipped with cybernetics. That's strong enough to take on Z Fighters. We have godlike power, which means nothing on Earth is on their level. Yamcha got easily beat up by an old man, so somehow and get out of here with that Team 4-star stuff. They're not even in Yamcha's league. Yamcha, a guy who trained with King Kai, Kami and Popo, which not Super Saiyan gods, but those are gods nonetheless. So that quote unquote doesn't exist. So yeah, fight and failing miserably. They took on some androids. If you want to pretend that these androids are as strong as the writers made them out to be, you fought a couple of androids that Trunks apparently lost to. You were so quick to fight a couple of androids Trunks apparently lost to. And surprised when you lost. You should have trained in the hyperbolic time chamber before that. No, they decided to train in the hyperbolic time chamber after this battle was over. They were lucky that these androids of this era, 17 and 18, weren't evil, just bad. Then you got so yeah, the imperfect one was only good. Then you got the Cell games, which was even worse. Firstly, I like the Gohan versus Cell and the Cell Juniors fight, and the remaining Z Fighters versus the Cell Juniors, and later the big Gohan and Z Fighters versus Cell Beam struggle at the end. But apart from that, I really don't like or care about anything in this saga, because you failed miserably in the second saga, and Vegeta just foolishly allowed Cell to achieve his perfect form. Thus, and Krillin destroyed the controller, jeopardizing the mission even quote unquote more. Then we got Krillin. If we had to get rid of the non-Saiyan based characters, Krillin and Roshi, Bulma, and Chi-Chi should have been the first on that list. Krillin, after the Namek saga, the Namek and Frieza sagas, had no business in Dragon Ball. He didn't do anything in the Android saga. He was only here to set up his lame relationship with Android 18 and giving him a wife and the girl of his dreams. That wasn't storytelling. That wasn't depth or any of that. No, that gave a useless lame character, a Yamcha and Hercule, which is what Krillin is, a more powerful version of him, except he gets to be important, which is worse. You're taking a Yamcha and a Hercule and making him important. Making him important. He's actually worse than those characters, worse than all the human characters. I don't care how powerful he is. And you're making him, and you're constantly putting him on the front line. He didn't do anything in the Cell saga except what you call. Then the Buu saga, he not only did not do anything, he helped Majin Buu get unleashed. Just like in the Cell saga, he pretty much helped Cell achieve his perfect form because he chose hoes over bros. If you're going to jeopardize the mission, why were you there? So as you can see, I can go all day with Dragon Ball Z. I can go all day with Dragon Ball Z, but this is why Dragon Ball Z sucks. And if you like and defend this, you're an imbecile. You can like your franchise. I still like some of it, but I think it's terrible. I think it's the worst ever, and all it has for me is nostalgia. And I don't do nostalgia. People say, "Oh, well, you're a dumbass and an idiot for not liking this." If I'm a dumbass and idiot, you're not only a dumbass and idiot. You're a sheep. You're a sheep and easily entertained moron. And some of us, Naruto's, the other Naruto's and other anime snobs, we're not sheeps. We're not sheeps and easily entertained morons like you. We demand quality, realism, complexity, and another one, consistency with what we're watching and reading. And we get that everywhere else. Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, and many more. We get that everywhere else except Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. It wasn't if you want to mock me for liking other products like Dragon Ball Evolution, GT better. You like Resurrection F. Resurrection F, where the Z Fighters quote, where Goku apparently couldn't see or block a laser. Frieza was able off-screen train with a Frieza soldier, was able to obtain a power source higher than Super Saiyan, which he couldn't even touch. Ascended Super Saiyan, Ultra Super Saiyan, Full Power Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, 3, Mystic, the greatest power. He was able to achieve a gold form of his own, withstood an assault of Super Saiyan Blue and Red, and on top of that beat Gohan in under 3 hits, and was able to destroy the Earth quickly before anyone could stop him, and would save the day by constantly rewinding time, allowing Goku to hit Frieza with a Kamehameha wave. After something that stupid, I doubled on anyone to tell me Dragon Ball Z rocks. Dragon Ball Z rocks. And once again, people should say, "Oh, you're hating it because of three bad sagas." Dragon Ball's Naruto, Bleach, and any other anime has never had a story arc, never had a saga that was that bad, that was that terrible, that was that atrocious. That's not really the worst Dragon Ball saga. That's the worst saga, period. I don't know any franchise that's had a saga that was that bad, that was that terrible. But yeah, this was my long overdue rant on Dragon Balls. There's so much more, but I'm going to leave it here now because this video is becoming longer than usual. So yeah, I'm finished. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off now. I may do another one later to talk about stuff I didn't talk about here.